Hello, this is Gerald Celente, and it's Tuesday, July 25th, 2023. And before you know it, your new Trends Journal is coming out soon, a couple hours, and here's your cover. Yep, Blimpitis, USA, we're number one. That's right. Keep eating that crap. That's America. Swallow crap. We're the number one crap swallowers. We swallow shit food and shit crap spewing out of the mouths of our politicians. Yep. Brainwashed by crap. That's all we swallow. We're number one. We're number one. Again, it's the devolution of society. And it's right there in front of our eyes. Blimpitis. Yep. And again, I make this very clear why this happens, and I'm hated for saying this. It's when mommies stop raising their babies. You gotta go to work. You gotta go to work. If you don't go to work, you're a jerk because you're smarter than men. Oh, and if only women were in charge, there wouldn't be any wars. Yeah. Like Samantha Powers, not a war that she didn't love. How about Hillary Clinton? Forgot Margaret Thatcher. What about Madeline, not all that bright? Oh, I forgot about Condoleezza Rice. What about Susan Rice? When mothers stop raising their children and putting them in daycare centers for children, which are nothing more than old age homes, putting them in a nursing home. That's all daycare centers are, nursing homes for children. And you got a stranger feeding your kid crap. Can't understand why everybody blimped out. Listen, if I get elected, I want a fat tax. The more you weigh, the more you pay. I don't want to pay for your blimpitis. And again, all the talk about the COVID war, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 61% of the 1 to 17-year-olds who were hospitalized were obese. Can't figure it out. Oh, you mean the people that were dying from COVID, type 2 diabetics, people suffering from respiratory ailments, obesity? Don't talk about good health. You are banned. You are not allowed to speak about natural healing. Again, one of the books I've written, along with international bestseller, Trends 2000. My favorite, with Zizi Gave Honey Boy. You still could get that one at trendsjournal.com. And trend tracking, far better than Megatrends Time magazine. And the first book I worked on, 1988, a Warner book, Natural Healing. And I have an honorary doctorate from the National University of Health Sciences. So an ugly fuck face like that guy, Hotez or whatever he is. Oh, 200 people, 1,000 people would have died that died needlessly if they didn't get the shot. Oh, the Operation Warp Speed gene therapy inoculation ever first injected into a human being. Oh, that one rather than natural healing. You know, fuck off, Celente. Why eat properly? Why take good care of yourself? Oh, how about that drug that they're all selling, huh? Oh, this is in the Cartoon News Network. Front page story. They took blockbuster drug for weight loss and diabetes. Now their stomachs are paralyzed. Why, that's misinformation. How dare you say anything about the drug dealers? The FDA approved it. The scumbags in the revolving door, like that fucking prick who was the head of the FDA in the tobacco part and got a job with Philip Morris. It's one revolving door. Not only there, look at the guy that's playing our defense secretary, Lloyd Austin. What was his last job? Oh, he sat on the board of directors of Raytheon, the second largest defense contractor. So there you got it. Blockbuster drugs for weight loss and diabetes. Now their stomachs are paralyzed. And we've been writing about this in your Trends Journal week after week. And we have articles by Dr. Joseph Mercola and others about how to stay healthy. But you can't know. We're number one. We're number one. America. Yeah, too fat to fight. Too fat to fight. That's right. They can't get enough people in the military. Too fat to fight. Imagine going to war. Oh, yeah, yeah. These guys, they'd be great, man. They'd be great. Boy, what targets, easy targets they'd be. Woof, you don't even have to aim the gun. Just shoot it and it'll hit them. Anyway, on to your trends journal. Trends on the economic market front. Again, the economic update. We're giving you the whole overview of what's going on around the world. And the dollar keeps sinking. And banks are turning bearish. Yep. And Chinese economic weakness leaks onto Wall Street. What's going on? Oh, the Chinese say now they're going to dump more dough in to prop up the economy that they slaughtered with the COVID war, as other countries did as well. And consumers waiting for the other shoe to drop. Home sales prices slip in June. Is there a crash coming in the housing market? But take a look at the office building bust. A lot more data there that barely anyone is talking about that we had forecast 3 years ago. And the banking crisis is coming. It has just begun. And what else do we got here? Oh, the oil prices. So you look at the markets. The markets are waiting tomorrow. Tomorrow's the big day in the United States. How much is the Federal Reserve going to raise interest rates? The guests on the street, 98% are saying they're going to raise them 25 basis points. And now it's a guess whether they're going to raise them again. So it's very simple. When they stop raising interest rates, or say they're going to stop raising interest rates, the dollar is going to decline. The dollar is only strong because interest rates are high. And death of the dollar, a number of articles in this Trends Journal showing where it's going and why. So now, when interest rates go down, the dollar goes down, and gold prices will go up. And interestingly enough, oil prices are going back up. You go back several weeks ago, they were around $70 a barrel for Brent crude. Now, today, they almost hit $83 a barrel. Back down a little bit, about $82.30 something a barrel for Brent crude. Last week, oil prices went up in the last several days in the United States. The gas prices at the pump went up over 6 cents. Yeah, it's down from the high of last year, but it's still high. And it's going to get higher. It's going to get higher for 3 reasons. Number one, supply is going down. Demand is moving up a bit. The 2 reasons that no one's talking about other than us, the Middle East meltdown. You saw what's going on in Israel. And we have a number of articles going on about the apartheid state of Israel. Yes, that's what we call it, because that's what the UN calls it, and that's what human rights organizations call it, and we call it that too. And Phil Giraldi, former top CIA guy, the guy that walked into little Georgie Bush's office back then and gave him the data showing there were no weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. Yeah, that Phil Giraldi, who spoke at one of our rallies last year, he has an article too about what's going on in Israel and how bad this thing is going to get and why. So, as I say, when all else fails, they take you to war. So watch for the United States and Israel ramp up tensions against Iran, and the Israelis ramping up tensions and killing more Palestinians and possibly going into Lebanon. They will get the people's minds off what's going on in Israel, as hundreds of thousands of people are taking to the streets in protest about the judicial reform acts that they just pushed through. Then the Ukraine war is heating up. Ukraine announced that they're going to be bombing more and more Moscow and Crimea. The more that they send bombs and missiles into drones into Russia, the more Russia's going to ramp up the war. Oil prices, Yeah. How about the price of life on Earth? That's going to get a lot lower too as we ramp up into nuclear war. So that's just some of them on the economic front and the geopolitical front. $500 billion in distressed corporate debt. Yep. When the economy fails, jobs go with it. Now, 48th week. Yep. What else do we have? No. What's going on? Spotlight China's economic struggles. Spotlight top trend 2023 office building bust. And the spotlight with the bigs getting bigger. Ukraine war update. Ukraine's Burisma. Hunter Biden's stupid, but paid Biden's $10 million. On and on. Featured guest articles by John and Nisha Whitehead of the Foundation of Mental Health Roundups is there. The next phase, the Rutherford Foundation, the next phase of the government's war on thought crimes. And Dr. Joseph Mercola article, was COVID a bioweapon that targets certain races? Oh. And again, I mentioned the article about Phil Giraldi. It's past time to be honest about Israel. And then articles on the presidential reality show. About a half of U.S. voters say they're open to a third party. And by the way, bye-bye DeSantis. I think a quarter or a third of his staff is gone already. And this guy's going nowhere fast. And Trends in Technocracy by the Technocracy King. Yeah. Joe Duran, new book, Be Human. Look at the size of this thing. That's what we do in technocracy, in cryptos. Trends in the COVID war, and trends in geopolitics, the Middle East meltdown, Operation Barbarossa 2.0, brought to you by the Germans. UK economy sucks. Voters don't want Sunak Club. On and on. And then we got Trends Eye Views. America's losing faith in major corporations, institutions. High-Tech Science by Ben Davis. And your weekly AI trends. Trends in AI, because AI, we own you. So also, remember on August 6th, coming up soon, I'll be speaking at the Humanity for Peace rally, and that's at the United Nations. So try to be there. Go to their site, Humanity for Peace. Support peace because we're doing everything we can. And a bunch of great speakers will be there, including Scott Ritter, my buddy. And of course, you know the way I feel about politicians. And that's why we have these shirts. Hey, politician, who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? How can you be so fucking stupid to swallow this shit? I like Chucky Schumer shit. I like Lindsey Graham crap. How fucking stupid can you be? How fucking stupid can you be? So let them know. Go to trendsjournal.com. Go to our shop over there and spread the word because they're public servants. We pay these clowns, but no, it's turned around. These clowns steal our money and tell us what to do. So I say, fuck you. And again, subscribe to the Trends Journal. No magazine in the world that comes close to it. But of course, if you're afraid of freedom of speech and you're too stupid to think for yourself or too afraid to think for yourself, then you'll hate the truth and trends because we give you history before it happens. Trendsjournal.com, trendsjournal.com. The grand total of a shitty cup of coffee a week, $2.86. So thanks for tuning in. And don't forget tomorrow, Celente and the judge. The judge is back. The judge is back. And again, to talk about our loss of freedom and the need to unite. Because united we stand, divided we die. Thank you.
The Trends Journal, the best investment you could make, because it's the best investment into your mind, and it can change how you look at the world.
Less than $3 per week for almost 200 pages, ad-free, great articles. The world's foremost trends forecaster, Gerald Celente.
The Trends Journal is one of the greatest sources of information, and and it really is. You're predicting these things well ahead of time. I would encourage everyone to go grab the latest copy.
Been a Trends Journal subscriber for 20 years. I just have to commend you. What you guys have put together in your latest Trends Journal, there's nothing like this out there.
Sir, everything that you predicted about the economy, you were absolutely right. So I have followed you all this time. So please take a look at the Trends Journal.
You correctly forecast that the Fed would hike rates quite aggressively, correctly said that initially gold and silver would drop as the Fed starts to raise rate to 1.5% and above. When we spoke last, Bitcoin was around 49,000. You said you expect to drop, and if it drops below 30, 35, then it could really drop.
Trends Journal, which I would encourage people to go and check out. It's actually a 200-page document, pure data-driven analysis.
Gerald Celente, the top trends forecaster in the world. Gerald, you had an interesting call back in September of last year. You said gold had bottomed, which is exactly what happened. And here we are, and we're above $1,900.
Subscribe to the Trends Journal. Read history before it happened at trendsjournal.com.